For me, Julian Assange's freedom means an end to the wars, stopping all wars, and that means that the overthrow of capitalism and the uniting of workers. So, you know, you are not my enemy, you are my friend.
Hey.
1, 2.
So, sorry, sir. Is this a protest or?
Indeed.
Indeed. So for what? For Assange? Oh, Assange.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay. So do you think he is a hero?
No,
So-
he's just a person that
Just a person.
deserves rights like everyone else.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
China?
Which part of China?
Northeast of China.
Northeast, 东北人。
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're good of Chinese?
三 G 很重要啊，对澳大利亚来说很重要，因为我们是一个自由的国家，我们是自信的澳大利亚对世界是很有科学、很有能力的一个地方，但是最近可能靠得太近美国。我个人来说，我平常在中国，我喜欢看看不同地方怎么样。那肯定要在哪里要尊重哪里的
法律，
但是他没有破任何的规则，所以就觉得很双面。现在是一边比如说骂中国，说那边不行什么的，但是一面在这边
双重标准。
不管自己的人，那个过分。
Julian Assange! No US extradition!
Okay. So what's happened recently?
Do you know Julian Assange?
Oh yeah, of course. I think he's a hero. Yeah.
Australian journalist.
Yeah.
Created WikiLeaks publication. It's a site for the publication of documents that reveal government secrets.
Yeah.
Right? And he published a video in 2010 called the Collateral Murder Video.
Yeah.
Collateral Murder Video it depicts or shows American war crimes in Iraq, the murder of civilians and children and journalists, civilians, children and journalists in Baghdad by American soldiers. And since then, the world knows the nature of America's occupation of Iraq.
Yeah.
So that was, and ever since then, the American government, at the time it was the Obama regime, Obama wanted to put Julian in prison.
Yeah.
They tried to kill him first.
Yeah.
So Barack Obama's Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, called for the murder of Julian Assange for publishing that video. Then, a few years later, there were the Afghan files. So, someone within the US government or military sent WikiLeaks a whole section of files that detailed American crimes in Afghanistan, and that further embarrassed and showed the criminal occupation of America in Afghanistan and other places around the world. And that would have been about 2011-12, I think. And then in 2016, in the last American election, in 2016, there was a leak from within the Democratic Party in the United States, a leak of massive proportions. Lots of files were sent to WikiLeaks that communicated to the world what Hillary Clinton, who was the Democratic candidate for president in 2016, communicated to the world the nature of her secret views, what she really thought about lots of topics. And that embarrassed Hillary Clinton because it showed her for what she really was and not for what people thought she was. Right? And ever since then, they've been trying to kill Assange or destroy him. And so, if you look at all of the episodes of the attempted destruction of Julian, so first of all, there were the allegations of rape in Sweden. So that was the first one.
Yeah.
So he was never charged, right? But it was a story created in Washington, D.C. So people who followed the story for all that time recognised how important the the American attempt to destroy WikiLeaks was bound up with the smearing of his reputation. And now we find that he's in a London prison in Belmarsh. He's going through a trial where the American government want him extradited to the United States for revealing their crimes.
Okay.
And so the people who committed the crimes, the murders, are free. They're not on trial. They're still in government. No one has been prosecuted, but Julian, for reporting those crimes, is facing 175 years in prison. What they're really saying is that the government, the American government is saying, we have the right to commit crimes anywhere in the world, but you do not have the right to tell the world about it. So, you know, that's not a double standard. That's just a criminal act.
Yeah. Do you think there do exist media concentration for Australia media against China?
Yeah.
Every time they talk about China, all of them are negative news.
Oh, always negative.
Yeah. Do you think that's fair enough?
Well, first of all, there is in Australia, there's a lot of pressure being brought on the Australian government by the American government.
Yeah.
Because the Australian government, both Liberal and Labor, in the past, have come under enormous American pressure.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you look back when the Gillard government was in power, do you remember Julia Gillard? Julia Gillard was an Australian Prime Minister who condemned Julian Assange for crimes when he had committed no crime at all, right? So she called him a criminal but she was bowing down to Hillary Clinton and American government pressure. So in Australia, there's a very strong anti-Chinese theme running through the Australian government and the media. Right? Very strong anti-Chinese thing because they're getting ready for war with China.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
If you go into World War II, if you look at World War II, so 1939 to 1945, right? The propaganda of that time was anti-Semitic against Jews, right? Why? Because Germany was about to invade the Soviet Union and Poland. The same with China, right? China was invaded by Japan, right? And you can imagine there was a lot of, I mean, not so much in Australia at the time, but there wasn't a lot of anti-Chinese racism then.
Yeah.
It was more anti-Japanese, but it was all part of the atmosphere for war.
Yeah, so it's very regrettable for China and Australia. In the past, in World War II, you know, we are actually comrades against the same enemy, but now we are become more aggressive to each other. So this default is not only for Australian citizens to escape from the media head of the government, it's also for Australia, this country, to escape from the political influence from the USA, right? Okay.
So what I want to say is that the people of the world cannot sustain capitalism.
Yeah.
So it's the pursuit of capitalism is the enemy of civilization because it's the pursuit of profit for in a very fractured environment, in a world which is fractured, in a global economic crisis. The pursuit of profit in that environment leads to war. And so, to me, what we have to do is unite the working class across Australia and the United States and China. So we have to unite the international working class against capitalism.
Yeah.
That's what I'm on about. And to me, Julian Assange's freedom is absolutely central to that.
Yeah.
Because we have to stop wars. The world cannot sustain wars anymore.
Yeah.
We can't. These are nuclear armed powers now. These have nuclear weapons. If we go into another world war, civilization is doomed. It's finished. We can't allow that to happen. And so for me, Julian Assange's freedom means an end to the wars, stopping all wars, and that means that the overthrow of capitalism and the uniting of workers. So, you know, you are not my enemy. You are my friend, right? I have nothing against you, nothing at all. You are a human being just like me, right? But we have to unite to overthrow capitalism all over the world.
Thank you so much.